Hello there, Jets fans. Welcome to episode number 67 of the JetStream podcast. I am Travis Rubinek. Today is March 15th. We are Joe Clark and Neil Noonan. How you guys doing on this wonderful, gorgeous, not freezing cold Winnipeg weekend?
Basically summer.
Yeah.
I wore shorts today.
There's a lot of people I've seen out in shorts.
Yep.
It's getting
People rocking the sandals.
Yeah.
Yep. Flip-flops are being broken out everywhere.
Which is insanity because it's so moist outside. I, for one, am very, very sore. And I know you are as well, Joe.
Yeah.
Because we went to Sky Zone yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, we're both athletic guys. I still play hockey. I do sports.
Yep.
You do sports.
I do the sports.
But jumping on a trampoline for an hour and a half.
Oh, man. Nothing prepares you for that in life. The only thing to prepare you,
baby.
But the only thing to actually prepare you for jumping on a trampoline for an hour and a half is doing it all the time. That's the only thing.
Yeah, probably.
So it's just
all the back
impossible.
muscles.
Yeah.
You just use muscles you don't use ever.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. It's madness.
So much stability.
And how sweaty did you guys get?
Oh,
well, this guy.
I sweat like crazy to begin with.
I don't sweat crazy usually, but I mean, I was pretty sweaty, but this guy was full back sweat, soaked.
Yeah. I was dying.
Yeah.
All these kids just booking around. It spawned a conversation between Joe and I about how we used to be able to do shit like
yeah,
this.
exactly. I was asking because Travis is the scientific one, and I was just like, so what's the science behind little kids being able to run forever and ever? Because I remember I used to be in cross country club in elementary school, and I could run 10K without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And now if I try and do that, it's just nope.
Yeah. There is scientific difference, physiological differences between.
We won't get
children
into that
and
right
adults.
now.
Yeah, we're not going to.
It's for the.
If you really want to know, no, don't even ask. I'm not getting into it.
You don't know.
I do know, Neil.
We're gonna pretend like we don't know, just because.
Yeah, it's but yeah, it was a good time.
It was fun.
If you're looking for something to do, actually, if you're gonna go and you're over the age of 14, you have to be with a group of people over the age of 14. Otherwise, it's just kind of creepy.
Awkward. Well, the whole time you're just riding this line of, am I being a dick to these little kids?
Yeah.
Right? Because it's
this is like a kid's.
It's a
dream
total.
house.
Yeah. It's like a very weird dynamic because all ages are welcome. Even adults can go and jump on these trampolines. But it's just that weird line between.
This isn't nearly as important to me as it is to this small child in a tutu right now.
Exactly. But also, you want to have fun because you paid for it. So it's you got to find a little balance. But I mean, it's not that bad.
Where did you guys spend the most time?
The free one.
Probably the free one.
The area where you just bounce around and do whatever you want. That was probably where we spent the most time.
I enjoyed the basketball nets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Travis was getting all sorts of kids all hyped up with his between the leg dunks and
Nice.
everything.
It was awesome. Felt like a superstar. Yeah. I was like, yeah.
Did you guys get a dodgeball game going on?
Yeah, we played a couple.
We played a bit, but the thing is, there's so many people there that, again, you don't want to take away from the kids.
Yeah,
so they don't let the little kids and the. I want to say I don't know. It was. There's probably 13-year-olds up when we were there, so it's kind of hey, there's a few of these kids who are taking this really seriously, and if I take this really seriously, I'm gonna look like a huge tool.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna take this super seriously, and I'm gonna let them do everything. But then you're just kind of standing there for a while, and they're like, well,
this is useless.
That's
this is fun.
That's
so we did
fair.
a bit. If you were to go with your family or a big enough group that you rented a little, because there's 7
and they're all
big
sectioned
trampoline
off,
things.
Yeah.
You can rent one of them, so it's just
that
for
would
you
be
guys.
the ideal situation.
Yeah, because then you're on one, you can do whatever the hell you want, and if you want to play dodgeball or volleyball or whatever, and you want to actually try, you're not being a huge dick and scaring everybody else away from playing.
Yeah.
So that would be ideal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good time regardless. Didn't break an ankle.
But yeah,
didn't hurt any children.
The muscles that you use to do this while you're in the air when you're jumping to stabilize yourself, those are what are killing me right now. Because how often do you do this motion, the stabilizing motion?
That, and how often do you just straight up screw up and face plant? Because I bailed hard a couple times. Because they have sidewall things. You're how hard can this be? But those things are they just shoot you off the wall, and you're holy crap.
One of our good friends who's there, Evan, he's a university level volleyball player.
Yeah.
By far the most specifically jumping guy that there is, could not do a trampoline to save his life.
Oh yeah,
it took him an hour to even bounce
figure out how to jump.
Because he's just I want to bend my legs, but I can't because then I fall down. And he bailed so many times. It was hilarious.
He'd just be jumping and then he'd just fall over.
Yeah, and it was just the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was pretty great. So yeah, recommend Sky Zone. Sky Zone if you want to sponsor a podcast.
Yeah. We are not affiliated with Sky Zone in any way.
Yeah, we are not at all. But if they want to, I would think, I don't know, free hour every week.
That sounds deadly.
Hey, it's a lot of.
I don't know if my
it's a good
spine.
workout. It's a cardio workout every week.
Yeah, I don't know if my spine can handle that.
And they do workouts there too, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they have fitness classes.
Yeah, that's
it's
awesome.
crazy.
Very cool.
They actually have like a dodgeball league you can join and just play dodgeball.
I saw that. Yeah, and there's like a big grand prize or something.
Yeah, I think one of my friends was in it, and she said like if you win the tournament there, then you go to like some trampoline dodgeball championships in like
or
Vegas.
Maybe that's what I saw.
Yeah, you get like a trip to Vegas if you win their
Broadcast
league.
by ESPN 8 The Ocho.
Yeah. You cannot see very well here, Cotton.
Yeah. That's a bold strategy. See if it pays off for him.
It's the only role I've ever liked Jason Bateman.
Oh, he's great in that.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. I guess we should. This is 2 episodes in a row where we just don't give a crap about hockey for the first like 10
We're giving the
minutes,
people what they want, man.
That's true. No one complains, so I guess we'll take it. Before we really do get started, I want to give a bit of shout out to Beyond the Handle, who I'm actually going to be on this week.
Yeah.
We recorded last week. It's at Beyond the Handle. It's the Beyond the Handle podcast. It's run by Alan, or on Twitter he's known as Slip or Slip, SLIIIIP, 5 I's in there. And basically, it's actually a really cool idea that I was happy to be a part of. I think he's done 6 episodes now, and basically he takes people throughout Winnipeg and their Twitter handles, note Beyond the Handle, and it's basically a sit down and get to know them thing. So you can know the people you're calling a fucking asshole on Twitter.
That's a great. I love that idea.
Yeah, it is a really great idea. So it's cool. You sit down for an hour and just kind of talk about things. I've listened to a few of the episodes. Melissa Martin was on it. Arby was on it. And yeah, you just kind of get to know people. Like, I've met both of them a few times, and I learned some stuff about Arby that I never knew before. Like, I didn't know his dad played in the NHL. And yeah, so I learned that about Arby and tons of different stuff. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I pretty much spent most time talking about the podcast, talking about how Neil does most of the work here. And Joe and I just kind of show up, and Neil has done everything else.
They got a great avatar, by the way. Shout out to whoever made that.
Oh, yeah, it's a great logo, eh?
Yeah, it is.
It's
nice.
great.
Yeah.
So yeah, look them up on iTunes. I'll be on it this week.
So we can learn some stuff about Travis.
Yeah, you can learn a bit more about me and what I do with my life. Yeah, so check out Beyond the Handle. Shout out to Alan. I know he listens to our podcast regularly. He actually loves the setup we have down here, and I'm like, well, it's just kind of a basement.
Yeah.
Neil does a good job of making us look professional. Exactly. So again, shout out to
Prime
Neil.
example.
Yeah. So yeah. Sports things, Jets, hockey, all that kind of stuff. We got a lot to talk about this week. We're going to ask who the Jets should keep going with in goal, because goaltending's been a bit of an iffy thing. The AHL is officially back in Winnipeg. It's been a crazy week in San Jose.
Oh, fuck yeah, bud.
Yeah,
No!
Why does it do that
I don't
sometimes?
get it. God damn.
Pavlik said some weird things in the middle of the week. Yeah, it's been a crazy week in San Jose. We got our regular stuff. Seinfeld music coming up. I'm going to revive the human factor that we haven't talked about in a long time.
I'm glad. You know, every now and then I
Nice.
think about that, and then I always forget to mention it.
I got a doozy.
Oh, perfect. I love it.
It's just a perfect encapsulation of the human factor.
That was one of our better things I think we had going, was the human
we
factor.
never bring it up anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
There's so many good examples. Like I say, I can think of like one every week, but I
it's
always
real.
forget. Oh yeah, I
Oh,
always forget to write it down.
It's the thing I learned this week, so
Yeah.
we'll get to that
Okay,
later
good.
on. But first, it's been an interesting week, to say the least, with the Winnipeg Jets. 2 losses, no win. Big win against Tampa Bay Lightning last night. But there was a killer loss in Florida against a goalie who I actually work with, Dan Ellis's brother.
That's super random.
He's a doc that I work with.
Okay. Yeah.
And a heartbreaking loss against the St. Louis Blues, which has spurred a lot of the conversation that we will have today. But I think the biggest realization that I got out of the game last night in Tampa is that the dumber the Jets lineup looks, the more likely they are to win for some strange reason. Jim Slater's your third line center. You've basically got one defensive pairing that hasn't been
Is reasonable.
recently scratched for like 2.5 months.
Yeah.
And the other guy in that pairing was Mark Stewart, who should probably be scratched for 2.5 months a lot of the time. Actually, I want to clear something up here first.
Okay.
I saw some people talking, or I don't know if it was talking about me or talking just in general, about how everyone thinks that like I despise Mark Stewart and think he's just the worst human ever. It's like, no. I don't know how many times I have to say this
Actually, you know what?
to make it clear.
Glad you brought that up. I was just re-watching some of the podcasts from last week, and I watched the little part where you're talking about Mark Stewart, and I thought you did a very good job making it clear that you do not dislike him as a person.
Yes, I don't dislike him as a person.
You spent like 5 minutes just talking about how you think he's probably a great guy.
Exactly.
So,
I understood that.
And people keep telling me that I hate the guy personally. I don't hate the guy personally.
Yeah.
And another thing I want to add on, I don't think it's his fault. And it's funny because Steve Dangle, like, just a few weeks ago, or a couple months ago probably, just had this exact same thing with David Clarkson. Mm-hmm. I don't hate the guy personally.
How could you?
Exactly. I don't know him personally.
Exactly.
The only thing I know about him is he, like, donates his time to charity.
Yeah.
Like,
so basically,
how do I hate him off?
Yeah.
Am I a devil?
Yeah.
Come on. Don't hate the guy.
It's really hard to have any sort of substance behind hating a professional athlete personally, because even if you think you have an argument, most of that's going to be coming from the media, and how much can you really take that into consideration?
The thing is, these people keep talking like, "Oh, I hate that guy on Twitter." It's like, you haven't even met me.
Yeah.
So you're blaming me for hating a guy I've never met. Meanwhile, you're hating me, and all you know about me is what you've seen on Twitter.
Yeah.
Whatever. I
You're
don't take
a
offense
much
to
bigger
that.
dick on Twitter, man.
Yeah, I've heard that before too. Apparently, I'm a huge asshole on Twitter.
Yeah, whatever.
Which,
yeah, you win some, you lose some.
it's the persona I give off. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, I know Arby gets it way worse than I do, so
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
going to complain about that. Anyways, but like, it's not Mark Stewart's fault that he gets put in the situations he gets put into.
No.
He doesn't make those decisions. He's not going to say no when Paul Maurice tells him to go play.
No, I'm not good enough for that.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Just leave me on the bench, coach.
It's not his fault.
No.
But I don't think he's a good hockey player. So I'm going to criticize his play. Mm-hmm. I think that's fair game, kind of. I mean,
Why not?
in a way, I can understand how you'd make the argument, oh, you shouldn't be criticizing them, but whatever. It's part of the job. Deal with it. You don't have to listen to me.
Nope.
I get criticized for lots of things I do at work. I get to choose if I listen to them or not.
Yep.
If I don't listen to them, odds are my work's not going to get
Really,
published.
the only ones that you should be super concerned about are the ones of your employer.
Exactly. Do what they want.
Yeah.
That's why he keeps playing.
Exactly.
So, anyways, that lineup yesterday looked like a complete tire fire, and somehow they managed to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning, which is mind-blowing.
And their lineup is like the opposite of a tire fire.
Yes, their lineup is like potential Stanley Cup winners.
Yes.
Sidetrack again. This is just going to be everywhere because there's lots of thoughts going on in my mind today alone. I heard some people talking about who they'd want to win the Stanley Cup. Mm-hmm. I can't remember who I picked earlier, but I'm officially supporting, out of the East, the New York Islanders.
Okay. I think we talked about this before. Right?
I know we have, for
Okay.
a fact. I just can't remember who I actually
I
selected.
guess at some point we're going to have to come up with... I guess we gotta wait.
I'm riding with the Islanders, and it's for multiple reasons. One, because cool.
Yeah.
Two, because I think it kind of throws apart that whole you have to wait 5 years bullcrap.
Yeah.
Although they have been building for a long time, but I think they made good moves in the summer. And three, because I want to see them close out Nassau Coliseum with Stanley Cup. That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be like, goodbye, you shithole building. We're taking our Stanley Cup party over here. Fans, come with us. Lady who conceived her child after we won the last Stanley Cup, do it again. It's just like a go away. Even though you're super old, that's probably not physiologically possible anymore.
Gross.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, that was so gross. Anyways, yes, the Jets lineup was just a gong show, and I legitimately want to ask that question. Like, why is that? How is that possible? That like the weirder and just the more you look at it, like there was no logical reason for them to win that game yesterday. Yet they managed to hold the Tampa Bay Lightning.
No, go ahead, keep going.
Saturday night, whatever the time they wanted. It's Sunday right now, so if I say yesterday, I mean Saturday.
Yeah.
They held Tampa Bay Lightning to 16 shots.
Wow.
Pavlik's going to get all the credit because he was in the open, they won, blah, blah, blah. They held the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Can you suppress shots from in net? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, you can stop them.
It's just impressive.
That's kind of your job, but it's pressing shots. Pavlik just goes above and beyond, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's amazing.
He's got like the force.
Another guy that I don't...
It's like a Jedi mind trick. They go to shoot, it's like, you do not want to shoot that.
This is not what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Anyway, this is not the shot attempt you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly, right?
But yeah, like, is it just Paul Maurice? Like,
Sports, man.
I saw I think it might have been, who was it? Was it Poppy? It might have been Poppy who tweeted out something along the lines of, and sorry guys, I know I was in the thread, I didn't read it. I was playing FIFA when you guys were tweeting this, so I stopped caring.
Priorities.
Well, I was in the middle.
No, I'm
the transfer window is open right now.
I'm with you. I'm saying priorities. FIFA first.
Yes, FIFA first.
Obviously.
I'm not missing out on a good transfer for
course not.
Twitter conversation.
Absolutely
at
not.
2 a.m.
Yeah.
Anyways, they're talking about like what it could be, and I think Poppy brought up the fact is like these guys just listen to Paul Maurice more. I don't necessarily think that's true. I think they kind of have to give an extra bit if they ever want to see the ice again because they know some good players are coming back.
Yeah, obviously.
Tyler Myers is going to come back eventually, which is a big loss against Florida, as opposed to actually losing the game, which is also a big loss. Dustin Byfuglien something was up with him too. He's hurt, right? Yeah, that's it. Jesus.
Yeah.
It's not even a Monday. Brian Little's out, Perreault's out. There's a lot of guys out right now, and I
Yeah.
think they know that they've got to kind of show their worth. But I also think there's the small effect of, Paul Postma, who is better than Mark Stewart and better than a lot of guys, actually got to play
Yes.
and pull things up a little bit. So I don't know. Maybe it's Paul Maurice. Maybe he's just magic.
I don't know. I honestly think, like I said, sports, man. Garrett brings up this argument a lot of the time, and I think it's a pretty important one that, you talk about all the analytics and the underlying numbers and whatever, but at the end of the day, you need to put in the players who give you the highest percentage chance of winning, and that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win every game. Mm-hmm. But you're trying to give yourself the best chance. That's not saying that if you put in all your worst players, you have no chance.
Yeah.
You still have a chance. These are all professional hockey players.
Yeah, that's very
so
true.
I honestly, it's just, you need to play your best players more and as much as you can because it increases your chances to win every game. But you can still win games with crappy players.
Yeah. I know I've said this before, and I always like bringing the analytics debate back to just general, like, science and health science sort of things. Mm-hmm. I always equate it back to just smoking a pack of cigarettes. Why do you not smoke?
Exactly.
So you don't get freaking lung cancer, right?
Yeah, but you
just because you smoke every day doesn't mean you're going to get lung cancer.
I've never smoked a full cigarette in my entire life, but I could still get lung cancer.
You could still get lung cancer.
Yes.
Or you could smoke a pack a day for your entire life. You greatly increase your odds of getting lung cancer, but you could still live a perfectly healthy life despite the fact that you've smoked a pack of cigarettes every single day.
Until you're like 86.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about playing the odds, right?
Yep.
That's why you eat healthy if you choose to. That's why you don't smoke a pack of cigarettes.
Yep.
Cool story, bro.
Great
Thank
story.
you, Neil. I hate you. Anyways, yeah, that's just the way it is, right? Like, that's how I like to equate it. I actually got a really good conversation today with, oh, God, who was it? I can't remember. Someone on Twitter.
Must have
I feel
been
like
not that good.
No, it was a good conversation.
Okay.
I just can't think of his handle right now. I could think his name for a while was Matthew Perreault.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I can't remember his handle right now, and it's driving me crazy.
Think beyond the handle.
Yeah. We were talking about how an article from the Hockey News, I think it was, came out, and they were talking about how hockey analytics experts are ruining analytics.
Okay.
And how, like, their poor writing skills and not being able to break it down to something simple is making it so people don't want to have anything to do with analytics, which I understand. Yeah. But we kind of got into a conversation about how, I think he was in a conversation with a few other people, and then he said something along the lines of, when you read science, it's not written by the scientists. That's why it's accepted. And I was like, I don't, or something along the lines of that. I'm like, I don't really agree with that because the people who actually write up the science are usually the scientists involved. It's one of them that just wrote it up. And then he was kind of talking about how, like, McLean's and things like that, who actually take this science and spin it into normal people talk, is involved with it, and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, this is part of the conversation. But we're tying it all back to the analytics debate and how, I guess, is analytics really even a debate anymore? Just kind of accepted. Like,
there's a lot of stuff debated about it.
Yeah, there's still buffoons who don't accept it, which is just wrong.
Yeah.
But anyways, although Calgary's trying their best to prove it wrong again, and everyone's going to do the same crap. It's not like Colorado's happened, or Minnesota a few years ago, or Anaheim a few years ago, or anything, or the Leafs. Yeah. Still going to be people debating it.
What do you mean by trying to prove analytics wrong?
That they don't do anything. They don't mean or show anything.
So they don't scout? Isn't that analytics?
That's the exact point that all the analytics folk on. It's just another thing it's another tool, and there's still people who are just like, it means nothing, it's useless. Never going to beat the eyes of a good scout.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
I would argue scouting is analytics.
Yeah, exactly.
You are analyzing players. I don't know, whatever.
No, I'm with you there completely. It's just, in my opinion, if you're a real good scout, you should be looking at both the analytics and what your eyes tell you. And if you can supplement those and put them together nicely, you're a good scout.
Yeah.
If you're only using one, you're probably making a lot of mistakes. Just like, I think I brought it up a few months ago when that whole Sham Sharon thing came out, and a guy just went off and made all the draft picks the Canucks could have made if they just looked at the most basic of numbers, and they murdered the Canucks in their drafting they pass, and how they'd have like a superstar team if all they would have done was
looked
picked
at the
like
best
the
available.
highest scoring player.
Available, yeah.
Yeah, instead of being like, ooh, he's big.
Yeah.
Him.
Yeah.
They have like Claude Giroux right now. The Canucks would be so good right now.
Decent.
The Canucks would have, the only issue they'd have is who they could afford to keep.
Yeah, that's true at this point.
Like, it's insane.
And you're never going to keep everyone you draft, so.
Yeah. Anyways, what was it talking about? Analytics,
You're
something?
talking about Matthew Perreault.
Matthew Perreault. Oh, yeah, we were talking about how you have to go through with your analytics and find a way to summarize them, and my argument was that someone's got to go through and do what they do with like actual research articles and take the collection of things in like one subject area. So if you want to talk about zone starts, there's been like a million different articles from different analytics people nitpicking little pieces of zone starts and where they matter. If you really want this to be appreciated and have it so everybody can understand it, one guy, it's not going to be me because I don't have the time, but one guy who puts in all this effort, go and collect all these articles on zone starts and just write one article that's like, this is what we know right now, and this is what we need to improve. That's what science does.
Yeah.
I'm really talking with my hands aggressively right now.
Yeah, you are.
It's what science does. They take all the articles on one subject and compiles it, and they write a review article. And that is where lowly researchers like myself go to start. And they read this, get to know what is current on whatever topic it is, where they need to go, what they know, what they don't know, what they need to improve on, and work from there. And you'll stop having 8 articles in the same thing, and you'll start focusing.
That's the thing, is it eliminates the redundancies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, if someone wanted to know everything there was to know about zone starts right now, you've got to be reading 30 to 40 articles from guys you may have not even heard of before, and linking back and forth and jumping all over the place is overwhelming to do.
Yeah.
So, I think you should be doing that. I have no idea how we got there.
Neither do I.
But
that's fine.
Yeah. The Jets. How does that all relate to the Jets?
We were talking about how it seems like they win games when their lineup is weird.
Yes, and then the stats.
Yes.
Smoking. Not good.
No. Don't smoke.
Yeah. If there's anything you're going to take out of that entire thing, just don't smoke.
Yeah.
Just a bad choice. Anyways. Lost to Florida. Sucks. Lose to Dan Ellis. Not good. Losing Tyler Myers in that game. Really not good right now. Getting Paul Postma back in line was probably good. I think it was nice people find. It was another weird thing about yesterday. Paul Postman doesn't play for like 2 months.
Yeah,
he's got second most ice time yesterday.
Yeah, it's strange.
It is really weird. That just keeps.
I guess that was a situation of he must have been playing well, and they just wanted to roll with him.
No, but the thing is, he wasn't playing poorly when he started getting scratched.
Yeah, I know.
I don't get it. Figure it out, I guess. Paul Maurice is clearly in the position to make those decisions, and I'm not. So there's only so much we can do. But I think the craziest game of the week had to have been the game against St. Louis, where Jets, I thought, played well in the start of the game. They outshot St. Louis. They outpossessed St. Louis for a long period of time. Hutch pooped the bed a little bit, let in a bunch of goals. I thought weirdly enough, I thought St. Louis's best period was the third, when they gave up a bunch of goals and got to let the Jets tie the game.
Yeah.
Until Andre Pavliked.
Yeah.
And Neil, you had some interesting thoughts about what you saw on Hockey Reddit about Pavlik in that game.
Yeah, they're not really my thoughts. I'm not going to take them like they're mine. But I came across, it was one of the top links on Hockey Reddit this week was when he let in that goal. I believe it was to tie it 4-4.
Yes. No, that was the game loser. There was like a minute left, and it came from center.
Yeah, okay. Well, it looked awful because it came from the I was going to say half court, but center ice.
Pretty much.
That's what you guys call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looked really bad. Like, you can barely see where the puck was in the video, but... So I was like, there's going to be a bunch of people bashing Pavlik, obviously, but all the comments were defending how he basically got them to that point in that game, and they were down 4-1 and all this stuff, which I didn't expect because, I am part of this podcast, and I've heard a lot of bad things about Pavlik, so I assume the internet was on the same side. But, no, a lot of people defending him and how he was a big part of getting them to that point.
See, and my rebuttal of that is... I don't like it when people say, he got them there. Because realistically... he was in net. Anybody could have been in net, and that exact same thing could have happened, and anything terrible could happen. Okay, let's give him the credit and say, Pavlik was in net, made some big saves. Great things happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal a little bit of what Steve Dangle said before about this, but this is also huge. Jonas Gustafsson. He used this all the time to talk about Jonas Gustafsson. I don't know if it was on the podcast or on Twitter. I've made those comparisons between Gustafsson and Pavlik before, where he'll play great and then just let in one crappy goal, and that's that. Perfect way to summarize this entire situation. It's like someone just came into your house. Pavlik comes in. House is a mess. It's just destroyed. You're losing by 3 goals. Things are crappy. This can't get any worse.
Yeah.
So Pavlik comes in. Just cleaned up your entire house for you. It's great.
Yeah.
Just had a party. You're hungover. Don't want to deal with that house.
Yeah.
Some guy just came and cleaned your entire house. That's great. But then just before he leaves, he walked in the middle of your room and just took a huge shit right in the middle of your house, smeared it all over the floor, and then left.
So is that worse than having your house not cleaned in the first place? Probably, because I have to clean up this smelly, fresh shit that's in the middle of your house. So it was wonderful. It was great.
But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you still have to clean up a huge pile of shit. So you lose still. You
What?
still lose.
I saw an interesting tweet from Joe Pascucci, is he global or I can't remember.
so.
I don't know. This is the first like Jets related thing I've seen from him, partly because I don't follow him, but somebody retweeted it, and he said Pavlik's good for one bad goal against per game, and unfortunately that was the one.
Yeah,
And
it
I was
is
like, oh, there you
every game, one bad goal.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, Neil, about the internet just kind of not having faith in Pavlik, and I'm just going to show you something right now. If I can get it up on my phone. If not, then fine. Nope, not going to happen. All right. Anyways, there's a lot of people instantly defending Pav and just being, like you said, a lot of people saying, like, oh, it's too bad, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing you can do about it. I have a problem with that because this is like the same, and everyone's kind of bringing up the whole argument. Oh, well, if Hutch would have done it, everyone would have been forgiving Hutch. The thing is, we've had 3 or 4 years of this from Pavlik, and it's the same thing. And even people from like St. Louis and other areas who used to follow them in Atlanta, who just shifted over because they want to watch hockey. Same argument from them as well. This is the same thing we've been seeing from Pavlik for years. Mm-hmm. It's not going away. He plays great for a while, but usually it's one bad goal a game, and it's just, you can't win with that. You can't win when you know every game you're giving up at least one bad goal. And just happened to be a big one. But
Just happened to be the worst.
yeah, the absolute worst. I'm going to pull up something quickly here. So, where is it? Game Time Art made a great tweet. Here we go. Throw it up on the screen here. Because the internet's a powerful thing.
Yeah, it is.
So, Game Time Art tweeted afterward, it's from NHL Jets Nation who tweeted it first. Gabe Tunnert retweeted it. It was just a screenshot of what their Twitter feed looked like when that goal went in. And pretty much, Twitter's about to explode. Adam Wozny, amazing, not really. There it is, Pavs, ... Oh my, oh no, Andre. Of course, you ass. Hashtag Paveloelic.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh my,
Hashtag MVP Pavlik. Winnipeg Jets, Jackman scores, 5-4 Blues. OMG Pavlik, from center ice, hey? Jerts. What in the Jesus fucking hell was that? Womp womp, Blues goal. Crushing. Oh, Pavlik.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's just like every game. It just won. And yeah, I think we've just come to accept that that's what it is from him.
None of those people seem surprised.
No, exactly. No one's surprised by it anymore. And it's just, I think that says enough. That no one's surprised anymore.
Yeah. One of the top comments was, "It looks like his controller was disconnected."
Yeah, classic.
Well, yeah, because if you watch him above, he's just kind of standing there. The puck goes by, and then his glove moves, and it's like, what? What's going on?
Controller disconnect. I'm surprised there hasn't been a Vine or something of that with the Xbox controller disconnected.
Yeah, like when Ovechkin just glides in that one thing.
On the back check. Yeah.
So, anyways, everyone after the game wanted to know what Pavlik had to say. Didn't meet with reporters. Leadership.
Yeah,
it's great.
Perfect.
Actually, if you watch the Blues feed of that goal, they are astounded.
Oh, really?
Because he stares Trouba down so hard.
Oh, nice.
Like he looks, goes like this, and then just looks over at Trouba and just stares him down. Apparently, you don't see it, but Derek Pang's in there. He's like, he's staring down Trouba right now. He's like, what? Why? This is your fault, buddy.
How dare you let them take a shot from center ice?
Yeah, like Christ, it was terrible. Anyways, he didn't meet with media, so yeah, great leadership. But he met with them the next day. And we're going to listen to this in a second here. And I want you guys to listen to it and tell me if anything just interesting comes out of this. I don't know how many of our listeners have actually heard this before.
Okay.
I feel like it's one of those things that people are like, oh yeah, he said something ridiculous, but never actually listened to it.
Uh-huh.
And it was tweeted out, so you saw the quotes. It's about 3 minutes long, so Neil, if you just want to play that, we'll let it roll.
Okay, Andre, just tell us from your perspective what happened on the last goal last night.
Well, there was a minute left. I just tried to, I thought he's gonna dump it in, and True was right between us, and then I lost the puck in the stands and just went in. So stuff like that happened. That happened at a bad time.
Did it hit Trouba?
No, I don't think so.
You didn't speak to us last night. I guess you were pretty angry, or
no? I just didn't want to, because I know I'm going to talk to you guys today. So
it's a good questioning by Gary.
Yeah. But be honest, you are not in the mood to talk to the media after this happened. But I know I'm going to talk to you guys today, so I didn't see any big deal with it.
It's you played so well in the third. You helped your team get into the game. And then obviously it's devastating at the end.
Yeah, well, but listen, I didn't play for 3 weeks. I was sitting on the bench for 3 weeks, and I just went in. It was 4-1. I just tried to have the fun, and I enjoyed the game, and I was happy I'm in the game. But obviously, what happened, and I'm not the last guy that happened. But like I said before, it happened in a bad time.
How do you put something like that behind you?
You have to. You have no choice. I've been in this league for long enough to understand that it's you're not going to change it now. What happened? It's just looking forward and be ready for the next practice. That's pretty much all what you can do.
Do you feel like the rest of the game helped your confidence, like with how well you played in the second and third?
No, you don't get confidence in 20 minutes if you didn't play for 3 weeks. I mean, it's obviously you're not happy. You have to go in. It's 4-1. You're losing 4-1. It's not a situation you want to be in, but end of the day, you want to play hockey, right? You want to play the game. So, end of the game, I was happy for 20 minutes or whatever it was, 25.
You seem a little frustrated.
Now?
Yeah.
No.
About not playing for 3 weeks.
Everybody would be. You know, I don't see any players or any goalies that would be frustrated if they don't play. I mean, everybody wants to play, and that's why you play the sports, to play the games, not just practice. But it what it is. We were winning. We are in a battle for playoffs, so nothing else matters. Just 2 points end of the day.
How would you characterize your season? Has it been a rough season? Has it been a frustrating season? What's it been like for you?
I wouldn't say frustrating. It's a different season for sure than I had before. Great start. I think I played great beginning of the year, and then Hutch played well as well. And I kind of played every second game after that, and then Hutch had more ice time after the new year. So the season is not over. I think it's a little bit early to talk about how the season is going, but you know, again, said so many times, the season. It's going to be if we're going to make a playoffs or not, and we'll see. We have to wait 15 more games.
Anything you take out of that?
Honestly, I thought like that could be a lot worse. He seemed like he's handling it not so bad, at least to the media.
Yeah.
He could have been a lot more dickish, for lack of a better word.
I wasn't a fan. There's two things that kind of stuck out to me there. One, I didn't play for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Comment. Which, in this situation, I think people were either like, holy crap, what the blah, 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 screw you, Pavlik, sort of thing. And then a lot of people were like, well, any goalie would say the same thing. But it's not, in my opinion, you don't say that. Pavlik's got a history of calling out his teammates before. I'll get to that again in a second. But I think you don't say that. And I think the reason he was getting a lot of side is, it's a goalie. I want to ask you something. If Evander Kane would have said something along the lines of, I didn't play for 3 weeks, would that just be brushed aside, regardless of how he played the next game?
I think
if Dustin Byfuglien,
if he played badly, I think that there would be a lot more going off it, obviously, because winning cures all, like we said before. Mm-hmm.
I just think if Evander Kane says something along the lines of that, sort of something along the lines of, I was a healthy scratch, it gets blown up to nothing, the biggest story in the city.
Yeah, anything that Evander Kane did got blown up. So
yeah, I just rubs me the wrong way, in that he's willing to say that. Because the reason you haven't played in 3 weeks is because you are the lesser of two goaltenders. Shut up. Deal with it. You're not the starter. You shouldn't be the starter, well, I don't think, anymore. We'll get to that in a second. Shut up. Learn your role and deal with it. Play. Play when you're asked to play and play well. That's what your job is. Yeah. Stop bitching the fact that you're not playing. Second thing that bothered me is twice in that segment, near the end, if you go back and listen to it, he starts a sentence where I'm going to say, we played great, and then he changes it to I played great at the start of the season.
Yeah, I like that.
Twice he does that.
Well, Gary did specifically ask the season from his perspective, like, personally.
But at the same time, like, his mindset was, I played great.
Yeah.
Then Hutch played well. I did I did this.
Yeah.
And it bothers me. Just irks me a little bit.
I still think that could have been a lot worse.
Could have been, yeah, but it just irks me. And People are going to go out and tell Evander Kane to shut up and play. Rules should apply anywhere.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All that being said, played well on Saturday. I think if you would have bombed the game Saturday, this becomes a bit more of a thing. And I think the discussion's going crazy. And like we said earlier, this whole discussion's probably going to be, Andre Pavlik played so great on Saturday, blah, 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 blah. 15 shots, 15 saves. If you allowed a goal, it's about where you should be.
Yeah.
If you allow 2, you're below 900 as a goalie. Made the saves you needed to make. That being said, Hutch has not played very well lately. So I have to ask, it's our responsibility to ask, who should the Jets keep going with as they make this final push?
How many games? There's 12 or 13 games? I think there's
between
13.
15,
yeah.
I think.
I mean, it's not a lot of games. And this is the point in the season where you start to ride the hot hand. And whether it's in net or your lines, your forward lines, your D pairings, you start to find something that's working in the short term and stick with it because you don't want to mess it up because you want to get as many points as you can. You're not thinking, you're not thinking 30, 40 games in the future. You're thinking right now, I need to be in the playoff race. Right now, there's no hot hand in net for the Jets. So I would say just go with the routine, which has been Hutch lately.
All right. My problem with if he went to Pav is, first of all, it's very, 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 very rarely that he has more than a 5 to 10 game stretch of good games. Mm-hmm. So if you play him throughout this, you're going to be going with him in the playoffs, and that's not good. It's just not. But Hutch has, again, played for this last stretch not very well. So I don't know who you want to go. I think go with Hutch because over the course of the season, he's been the better goalie. Mm-hmm. My issue with that right now is Hutch has looked very, very, very Pavlik-esque lately. He's been making a lot of the mistakes that Pavlik had. He's been sliding out of his net, which he never did before since the All-Star break. I think it's Ryder. I'm going to look up his Twitter handle as I'm talking here. Has a chart of the of Hutch's performance, and he kind of cuts it off the All-Star break. It is awful.
Yeah, it's
since the All-Star break.
Fall,
it is pretty damn bad. It's yeah.
The only reason his save percentage is still decent right now is because it was so good before the All-Star break.
His cumulative save percentage post the All-Star break hasn't gone over 890 yet this year.
That's terrible.
And it before the All-Star break, it hadn't dipped below 930.
Yeah.
So realistically, I think he's somewhere in the middle there. His actual save percentage is probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
His rolling 10 game save percentage since the All-Star break, or since about game 24 of his year, has been below 900. Mm-hmm. So it's scary. I think you have to go with Hutch just because of you don't know. I think you know what you have in Pavlik, and it's not good.
Yeah, exactly. That would be the only reason to not go. But like I said, there's no hot hand right now. Yeah. Hutch is sliding, and Pavs is Pav. So, there's
just a lot of problems.
What are you going to do? At this point, it's almost a toss-up.
I'm really curious how much of the blame needs to start falling on Wade Flaherty here. Mm-hmm. Because both of his goalies now are playing the same way, and it's a bad way to play.
It's interesting.
And at some point, you got to look at your coaches.
You don't necessarily see so much of that in the NHL, at least not prominent in the media, where specific coaches are pinpointed. Mm-hmm. It's the head coach, all the time. Team's playing bad, head coach, get the hell out of here. That's the first thing that happens. But hardly ever do you see, their goaltending is struggling. Yeah, that goaltending coach is gone, new guy. Hardly ever does that
The only time
happen.
you ever see that is when the goalie and the goalie coach don't get along.
Yeah.
And
rarely is it a storyline like the goaltending has been terrible here and they fired their goaltending coach and got a new one and now that's better.
No, exactly.
I hardly ever see it.
But I think you have to look at a reoccurring trend here. Is that you can't hold on to a backup goalie for the life of you. They've had, 3 backups already here? Mm-hmm. 2 or 3? 3 now?
Mason, Montoya.
And now Hutch since 2011?
Yeah.
Can't hold on to one. A guy who looked like he loved to play here was gone quickly in Mason. Mm-hmm. Montoya, I wouldn't blame him for wanting to just up and leave regardless of Hutch coming because he didn't get any sort of opportunity. Yeah. Despite he was better than Pavlik. You had a goalie in Pavlik who none of his problems ever got addressed at all. He played the same way since 2011, since before that, and none of it ever changed. And now you've got another goalie in Hutch who's starting to play like Pavlik, which is terrifying in my opinion. So at what point, Paul Maurice didn't bring in Wade Flaherty. Wade Flaherty was brought in when they came here. Some sort of weird throwback to the Manitoba Moose, or maybe it was Chevy liked him because he was with Chicago before he came. I don't know what that is, but Paul Maurice didn't want to bring him here. Paul Maurice might have had the capabilities of getting him to leave.
Possibly.
Maybe he decided to keep him around because he knew Pavlik better. I don't know. Maybe that's why Pavlik played so much at the start of the year, because Flaherty just loves him for some reason.
Could be.
But I think he's got to start realistically looking at it and saying, well, what's the common denominator here between the goaltending issues?
Yeah, that's very true.
One thing that stayed constant is Flaherty. So I wonder how long it's going to take before some sort of blame gets put on him for how Hutch has performed. I don't know if something happened during the All-Star break. I don't know if I think they're allowed contact with players in the All-Star break. I'm not sure. But regardless, it's not good. I would say stick with Hutch because he got a better shot at something great happening.
Yeah.
But the discussion's back on. It looked like it was settled, and I think it's going to start happening again. Mm-hmm. Paul Maurice made some comments after the St. Louis game that made it sound like it was very clearly going to be Hutch continuously going forward, but we're not going to know until he announces who starts against San Jose and what's going on there. Because the Pavlik is just dangling in front of him now again because Hutch hasn't taken the job. So it's part of Hutch's responsibility.
Yeah, it's there for him to take.
Yep. And if neither of them work out, there's another option.
Yes.
Which they better not touch.
Yeah. Not right now.
I don't know why they even... Lawless wrote an article about Hellebuyck. If you haven't noticed, that's who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Saying how they shouldn't touch. I don't know who was starting discussion that should be an option there.
15 games left. Let's grab a
why
21-year-old goaltender
out of the AHL, and he'll be the same. I don't know whoever said that.
Just came from the NCAA.
Yeah. I don't know where that ever came up. I don't think anybody's actually said that's an option.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you did, you're a fucking idiot. Don't ever say that. It's not your choice. It's not even close to an option right now. You got to leave him down there and let him play. Yeah. Let him do, hopefully, although the Ice Caps probably aren't making the playoffs anyways, but let him try to do what Hutch did last year and drag that woeful team through.
And he's doing his best right now.
It's coming to Winnipeg.
Yes.
Officially.
So excited.
Officially coming to Winnipeg.
Are we going to talk about that now?
Right now.
Yes.
We're going to talk about how the AHL
so happy
is officially coming back to Winnipeg. First off, I'm
wait.
very happy that St. John's is not losing their team. For those of you who aren't aware, the Hamilton Bulldogs are moving out of Hamilton to St. John's to be the Montreal Canadiens affiliate in St. John's. St. John's is coming here, so all the players who play for the St. John's Ice Caps currently are coming here. All the players who used to be in Hamilton are now going to be St. John's Ice Caps. That's a really weird thing.
That is so
Same thing that happened with the
strange.
Chicago Moose thing is all these they're playing with a different jersey, but they're still technically the same team. It's really freaking weird. It's the AHL for you. The AHL's gone to some major changes so far this year. There's a bunch of teams in California now.
I remember getting
less than 82 games.
For some reason that I have absolutely no idea how I get AHL insider emails. I have no idea how that started to happen. I think it is because I paid online to watch St. John's Ice Caps game, playoff game last year. I think that's what it was from.
Probably.
But anyways, I get emails from updates from the Board of Governors from the AHL telling me the crap that's going on. And I'm like, did I subscribe to this? Anyways, I got an email a couple months ago or a month or two ago. They we're saying how all these teams are relocating. There's 5 or 6 AHL teams moving into California alone.
That's mostly because the California teams are all our AHL affiliates are on the East Coast.
Yeah, exactly.
This
it's
sucks.
the same situation with Winnipeg and St. John's. Yeah,
Except
but it was just crazy because it was this team is moving to this place in California and this team is moving to this place in California and they were all moving to California. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, so San Jose's affiliate's going to be in San Jose.
California is very quickly turning into a very hockey place.
Yep, there's a few of them going down there. Again, it's mostly for the teams that are already in California so they can have their affiliates closer. They're not playing a full season schedule, which is really weird to me. They're only playing 70-something games, which is likely to travel costs, so they're going to have some sort of... I think their standings are going to start going with point percentages more so now than actual points.
It's funny because that kind of stuff can just happen in the AHL and nobody really questions it.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine if that happened in the NHL?
People would be throwing...
Oh my goodness.
Everything, just all over the place.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it would be nuts.
Not just shit would hit the fan.
Yeah,
everything. Limbs would be hitting the fan.
Full people.
Speaking of limbs hitting fans, The Walking Dead's on right now. Pretty excited for that.
Speaking of limbs hitting fans.
Just thought of it.
You never know, I guess.
Could happen.
Yeah.
Anyways, so there's a lot of weird things going on with the AHL. But yeah.
I love it.
Including it's back in Winnipeg. I'm really excited for it.
Season tickets.
What's really interesting is Chevy was saying they want to keep it here long term.
I heard.
So I don't know how realistic that is.
On CBC, they're saying for the time being, we're thinking that they're going to be here for as long as we can see.
Yeah. So I think if they do well, might as well keep them here. Yeah. They don't seem to be worried about concert
I can't
disappearing.
They're saying that the pricing is going to be coming out sometime soon.
So jacked.
And I'm excited to see because I want seasons for sure.
Yeah. I want to at least split seasons with somebody. like without a doubt.
Yeah, definitely. Get a group or something.
Is it confirmed that going to be Manitoba Moose?
No. That's
No. Interesting.
Name,
We will get that in
logo,
a minute.
pricing, everything is yet to be released.
Wow.
Actually, let's get to that now.
Sure.
We asked our wonderful fans on Twitter
Oh yeah, this is interesting.
what they wanted to name the team.
Oh, wow. I swear I didn't know this.
I didn't know it.
I don't
Okay, well,
follow
let's-
our Twitter. Just kidding.
I did that. I wanted to know what people were thinking.
In case there's any doubt, Travis is the one who does all the.
No, Neil does something.
Oh yeah, I
different.
guess Neil does do something. Yeah, I don't do any. Sorry, is what I'm trying to say.
Why are you breaking this, Joe? Because sometimes I talk to myself on there.
Yeah, I know it's funny. Every time it makes me laugh. Travis is doing this. I'm like, he's
Travis
probably
is the
right.
worst.
Oh, he's writing this right now.
Some of them are Neil.
Then he retweets himself.
Yeah, and then he retweets himself from his own.
You know
account.
what? We got to get these accounts going.
Love it.
Suck. We're idiots.
That's
You guys
great.
are breaking the fucking fourth wall so hard right now.
The fourth. Insider information.
I hate you guys. Anyways, our wonderful fans came through and came up with some awesome names. So I'm going to read some of them here.
Sure.
Some of them are jokes. Some of them are awesome. Chris Carter Crone at CC Crone, CCKRONE, said the Winnipeg motherfucking Wizards because no one messes with a motherfucking wizard.
All right.
Nice. I like
Fair.
it.
You might have some issues trying to get that one through, but
Yeah, I might
I'm
have some
happy-
problems.
I'm happy with
but
it.
it's the AHL.
Exactly.
So
Right, nobody
it's
cares.
possible.
You know what? If there's ever gonna be that name,
It would
actually
be
no, the ECHL. Yeah, no, we were both on the same page there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like realistically though,
It
possibly.
could definitely happen at ECHL.
Yeah, ECHL has some ridiculous names.
What else do we got here? A lot of people went with the Air Force options, saying that we should do some sort of Air Force or keep with that whole the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and
Winnipeg Wingmen
Winnipeg
or something?
Jets. The Winnipeg Wingmen came up. I'm going to try to find actual.
Oh, is that
specific
something
names
that somebody suggested? Sorry if
Yeah.
I stole somebody's idea.
here. Yeah, someone suggested that.
It
The
just-
Wheeling Nailers?
of
Oh,
course, yeah.
God.
See, he's looking up ECHL names now.
ECHL teams. Yeah.
Paul,
Nice.
you've heard the name Paul Bissonnette before?
Yes,
Yeah,
of
he
course.
used to play for the Wheeling Nailers.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, these are some great names. Great logos, too.
Yeah, good logos. They have very good logos in the ECHL.
They're the kind of league that like plays in like Darth Vader and Stormtrooper.
Yeah,
uniforms
and they have like
every once
ugly
in a while.
Christmas sweater things.
Yeah,
and
they're just there for
The
entertainment.
Las Vegas Wranglers looks nice.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. Merck Shaififi. I don't know how you're actually supposed to pronounce that.
Shaifefe?
Shaifefe.
I always say Shaifefe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
At Buff's Buffet, in other words, said if it's anything other than the Moose, I'll be severely disappointed.
Fair enough.
Sad Sack said the Winnipeg Giants.
Okay.
Fair enough. Pity loved the Manitoba Mosquitoes. The only thing better than mosquitoes in the summer is mosquitoes in the winter.
Yeah, hey, let's make it year,
Nice.
let's
I
make
like
it year
that,
round.
yeah.
At Hollywood 8 said the Winnipeg Wingmen,
Okay.
in keeping with the Jets and Bombers
Sorry,
military
Holly,
reference.
I stole your thing. That's my bad.
Paul Poirier at Paul Poirier Paul POIRIER3 said I think the Manitoba Moose is a no-brainer. And then they got a bit of a discussion about merchandise because I think a decent number of people have Moose merchandise. And I think the only way you're going to have any chance of getting any profit is if you make people buy jerseys again. So you could change the logo, but that last Moose logo was so sick.
So decent. I have
So
that jersey.
nice. And then
You know what? If they use, I really hope that they use that because then I can like get a name on it. Because I got that jersey a year before they left, and then it was going to be the following year that Travis and I were going to get season tickets, and I was going to get a name put on that jersey, and that's when I was going to make up my mind.
Man.
And then they left,
Man,
so
you know
now
what'd
my
be sick?
jersey is still blank.
It would be so sick.
What?
A Nick Patan Moose
Yes.
jersey.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
I would get an Ehlers jersey so fast.
The thing is, he wouldn't be here next year. It'd be
I
the
know.
year after that. So odds are he'll probably skip the Moose. So can't see him for cheap.
Whatever.
But anyways, yeah, that'd be pretty. Or it's like
Keep
a
it.
Eric Comrie or Josh Morrissey maybe. Yeah, you could see, no matter what, those guys are gonna be playing in Winnipeg next year, which is so cool.
That's so awesome. I'm so happy about that.
Yeah.
Like if you're a Winnipeg hockey fan, like there's
You
this is
have
nothing
to be
but good
excited
things.
for it.
Nothing but good things.
You
right
get to
now.
watch no matter who. Like you're seeing your future Jets
Yes.
or the Jets every
Yes.
time you go to the MTS.
Ah.
It's so sweet.
It's
I
fantastic.
think
that?
they're gonna do well.
There was a magazine that said that we were going to win the cup.
That was hockey
Dog-
news.
oh,
That was the
God,
hockey
it's so
news.
dumb.
2019.
They also predicted the Oilers were gonna win the cup.
They
in, like,
also had
3
a
years, like, 5
they also had a
years
cover
ago, and-
that had Phil Kessel with like an arrest, like the board you hold when you get arrested. I don't know what they call that. And it was just like,
Yeah.
is this the face of a coach killer?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the hockey news
Gotcha.
is very, very like dramatic.
Subpar most of
yeah.
the time.
Yeah, dramatic. Yeah, whatever you want to say.
But yeah. Anyways, the only thing with bringing the Moose back as well is that they could use Mickey Moose on both teams.
Ugh,
Which whatever.
worst mascot ever.
I don't mind them. Let's go with the name Jets Nation for Life at KRASINATER said, let's go with the name that True North had in mind for the Jets prior to bringing them back. Dare I say Polar Bears?
Okay.
Oh, fair enough.
There's like Falcons thrown
Yeah, I
around
was
as
just
well.
gonna say
yeah,
Falcons
Winnipeg
too,
Falcons would be
yeah.
a really good one because that's both the Air Force and a sick name.
Yeah.
People saying it could go with the Manitoba Blizzard at Juventus 777 Jets.
That's okay.
I like names without S's at the end.
Yeah, it would
know?
be pretty cool. Manitoba
Yeah.
Blizzard. Winnipeg Whiteout.
Yeah,
They've already
yeah,
copyrighted that name, so if they really wanted to. The Wingnuts.
Nice.
Orlando Solar Bears.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Solar
that's a
Bears.
great name, man.
Solar Bears.
Look at their logo. It's so sick.
No, you're right. Like he's just
That's an Leafs
chilling
affiliate.
with it. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys did not lie. These are some great names here.
Like, that's how we knew. Like, that's why we both said it at the exact same time, because it's just the league for that.
Oh, yeah. Kenny B at Ken Brosowski. Ken Brosowsky.
We got some feedback here.
Yeah,
We got a lot. I really hope they go with the Air Force theme. Bombers / Jets, and then Pity responded, helicopters?
Yes.
And then Juventus 77 Jets responded again, the Winnipeg drones. You'll never see them coming.
Nice.
These are not the drones you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Chipman uses Bears since they were very close to using the NHL. That was from Ian Dimitru. Even had jerseys made, apparently, which I didn't actually know. The Snowbirds.
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay,
Should be a cool one.
Interesting.
Warthogs, ugly as hell, but will smash you the F up.
Okay.
That's from at GD Machine. The Wingman again by Holly. One that a few people brought up that I really liked, the Winnipeg Voyageurs.
Cool.
That'd be a cool name. You can do a lot with that.
Yeah.
Because then you can kind of have the whole battle side of things. The whole fort in St. Boniface. That'd be a good one. A few people brought up Voyageurs.
Yeah.
Imagine the chance we could have.
Yeah, exactly. Matt Robinson brought up the Manitoba Mavericks.
Oh, I like that.
Ranks together nicely. That's another thing. Is it going to be Manitoba again and kind of throw back to that and the whole we're in Manitoba?
Yeah,
Or
true.
are you going to go with just
Or are they
Winnipeg?
gonna be Winnipeg something.
Yeah.
I know. People automatically go towards Manitoba because of the Manitoba Moose, but they could easily be the Winnipeg something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The Winnipeg Junior Jets
Nice.
from Ad Victory 4201.
Okay.
Fucking Sens fan who beaks me all the time about being a Leafs fan. Dick. I do like. I actually do like Winnipeg Warthogs. That'd be funny. But then I think there's an AHL team, the Chops.
Ice Hogs?
The
or-
Chops.
Chops?
I don't know if they're still in existence because they used to be with the Ducks, and that might be one of the teams that relocated.
Maybe.
I'm gonna have to brush up on my.
There's Ice Hogs, the Rockford.
Yeah, Rockford Ice
Rockford
Hogs.
now?
Yeah, and they're like a warthog type mascot thing.
Yeah.
Great
Just-
logo,
just
too.
Straight up,
Yeah.
just that pig, just that pig face. Is that what it is? Yeah.
Just munching on a hockey stick.
Of course, yes.
Anyways, yeah. The AHL. I'm glad they're coming back.
Yeah, I'm so excited, honestly. It's going to be great.
Chevy actually also said, I just want to pull up this tweet.
Although the parking is still going to be expensive.
Man, just transit.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's such a good alternative. People, I get that people don't like transit in Winnipeg because it's not great to getting into the suburbs, and that's where everybody in this goddamn city lives.
Yeah.
But,
Well, honestly, for us, we can take a 5-minute walk and
yeah,
then
exactly. It
you're
takes
at the
like
MTS Center.
20 minutes to get there max.
And on the way
It's-
home, it'd
it's a
probably be
great
even faster.
alternative.
Yeah.
It's so much cheaper, too.
Do they do free transit after games like they do with Bomber games?
No.
No?
No, that's like a straight-up deal that the Bombers have with...
Oh,
or had
okay.
with Winnipeg Transit.
Is that because they have no parking?
Well, no,
basically
it
down
used to
there?
be better with Canada Inns, actually. It used to be both ways. As long as you had your ticket, you got a free
Right,
ride.
yeah.
And they changed that because Transit did something or other. Anyways, yeah.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah. Anyways, people keep throwing issues about, we shouldn't be subsidizing extra transit for people just because they're going above. If they can afford a ticket, they can afford this. Like, whatever, shut up. We subsidize lots of things that I'll never use.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Welcome to society.
Yeah. So what,
Yeah.
Name, what name would you like to see?
I mean, I'd like to see the Manitoba Moose again. That's just me being nostalgic. But, I mean, there's a lot of good ones in there. I mean, with the wingman that Holly brought up that I stole from her before she got to have her moment in the spotlight. And then I like the wingman. I think that'd be kind of cool. Jets and the wingman, that's kind of a nice little correlation. And then, yeah, but I would love to see the Moose.
Neil?
To be honest.
I really like the Voyageurs.
Yeah,
one.
the Voyageurs is good as well.
But I'm not sure if it's Winnipeg or Manitoba. Winnipeg Voyageurs? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Manitoba Mavericks, Winnipeg Voyageurs.
There's a lot of good ones. Like, we got a lot of good feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Personally, when the Jets were first going to come back, if it wasn't going to be the Jets, I was pumping the Falcons hard. Just because they won a Stanley Cup and all that history behind it, and they were part of the Air Force and that whole thing. So I would like to see the Winnipeg Falcons. Because then you can always go back to the Air Force. You can use that exact same patch, the shoulder patch that I love. This pretty much patch that I love that the Jets have. So you could almost use that and keep the same jerseys. I hope they don't keep the same jersey. I hate it when the AHL and NHL teams are just replicas of each other. I find that so lame.
The Marlies?
It's gotta be somewhat different.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Marlies the same. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, they use sort of the same different logo, at least. Like, the Providence Bruins in the AHL, it's the exact same logo, but a P.
Yeah.
Like, that's just lame. I like it when it's different. Like, the Ice Caps third jersey was awesome.
So that was actually
so sick.
fantastic.
We almost bought one of those.
Yeah, there's some. I was looking at them a lot in the AHL. Providence Bruins looks awful. Albany Devils.
Yeah, like, they use the
Iowa
exact same...
Wild. Like...
Yeah. It's so lame. I hate
Creativity,
it.
man. Let's go. The Sharks there. And
like, I'm hoping that True North might want to get some sort of profit out of this and
think...
not have the exact same jersey. Because they're going to have enough Jets jerseys in that arena when the AHL team plays.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, change it up.
Yeah.
Even if you... I think one thing that would be cool is if you use the Moose name, because the seats are already Moose colors. Mm-hmm. So...
That's true, yeah.
If you brought that back, at least that would make sense again.
Yeah.
Some sort of throwback. And then you'd still be able to have the Manitoba Moose thing. Because I think... It is technically the same franchise coming back, isn't it?
I don't know.
No, it's not, because it'd be Vancouver's then. I think. I don't know. Anyways, because you still have the Moose banners in the rafters.
Yes.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Chevy also brought up at his press conference. He was apparently, and this is from @PWilliams NHL. If you're not following Patrick Williams on Twitter and you're a Jets fan, you're just doing Twitter wrong.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. He tweeted that Chevy stressed the idea of acclimatizing prospects to the city before they even reach the AHL. Which is actually a really interesting concept I never even thought of before, because now they're actually getting used to what kind of market this is before they even have to face it.
You're going to be talking to the same reporters, most likely.
Yeah, like you're going to have at least the same companies for the most part, and you're going to have a lot of that instant access. You're going to have the opportunities to be there and see who your future captains and who the leaders are. A lot more conversation between the coaches, probably. The locker room's just going to be a few feet away from each other, probably.
Yeah. According to Gary Lawless, there's like tons of unused space under the MTS.
There's a lot of extra room down there.
I've never been there, but...
Plus, the Iceplex is probably going to get some renovations which is great, because their shower system in there is awful. It's terribly built. There's like standing water in those showers everywhere. Gross. There's like a pole beside one of the showers. You can't even shower because there's a pole like literally right beside it, and it's just awkward. Yeah.
Hold on.
They can use some improvement. It smells like sewage in there sometimes. So it's backing up. It's gross.
Good.
So I could really use some renos. So please do that. But yeah, access will improve, because the odds are there's going to be a bit more that the Jets will have to practice the Iceplex. You'll be able to see your AHL team practicing the Iceplex. Get a lot more opportunity to see Patan and these guys on a regular basis. I'm
maybe
so
add
excited
a little AHL segment to the podcast. Maybe do a little
I was thinking about that.
There,
like we should.
Well, if we've got
at least give
especially
updates,
especially if we're going to a lot of games, then
that's actually something I wanted to bring up. We should probably talk about afterwards. Do we want to get like podcasts? Like I don't know how interested we would be in like splitting them and then occasionally giving tickets away.
Well, we can talk about it later, but sure,
figure something out. If you guys would be interested, if any listeners, because I know, like, I'm not going to want to go 50-50 straight up on tickets, because I'm not going to be able to get to twice in games.
I won't have the time, yeah.
But if, like, friends of ours don't want to do it, maybe podcast listeners will want to get in on it.
Possibly.
Get in on JetStream. Should we get
How
corporate
very
tickets?
interesting.
JetStream corporate tickets.
Yeah, exactly. Well, seriously, have spot, like, seats, JetStream seats.
Decent.
Get emails to the JetStream podcast. Hello, valued season ticket. Like, yeah.
Do it.
That'd be cool. Like, if we didn't get them under our names, just got JetStream. Thank you to our corporate sponsors, JetStream Podcast.
There you go.
How expensive could it really be?
Wow, yeah.
Like, how much more could it really be than just
Thinking
buying
big
tickets?
here.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be cool. Free advertisement if you just bought tickets.
You sound insane.
I know, but I don't care.
Good.
I think it'd be cool.
That would be cool.
We'll have to wait and see what the pricing comes out.
Yeah. Let's get to it.
Yeah.
The thing is, they know that it's going to be the second choice for every major company.
Mm-hmm.
Check that jar behind you. We're saving.
Yeah, we got a little bit of change.
Yeah, we got some in there.
Little glued guy that.
Hey, you knocked down the
really
moose
awkward.
stick.
Whoops.
Whoops, doesn't even try to fix it.
I'm just going to make it worse. I'm trying to fix it now.
That's true.
Okay. Last thing before we get to our segments. Crazy ass week in San Jose. Neil, have you heard about any of this?
No, please do tell.
Basically, Sharks have been having a bit of troubles. Just a little bit of trouble. Looking like they might not make the playoffs thanks to the Jets becoming a real team and Calgary just being stupid. Mm-hmm. Winning games and they really shouldn't be. Stripped Joe Thornton of his captaincy last summer. There was questions about it, and their GM Doug Wilson pretty much gave the same answer every time until this week. when they had a season ticket holder event. Some season ticket holders asked him. And his response was, Joe carries the weight of the team on his shoulders, and he's got such a big heart that when stress comes on him, he lashes out at people. Kind of impacts them. The pressure and stress I felt was getting to Joe. Interesting. Not really sure why you would say that. I guess he thought it wouldn't really be a problem.
I guess he figured it was far enough removed from the actual event that it maybe wouldn't blow up. But
then, then it got to Joe Thornton. They asked him about it. And Joe Thornton responded by saying his GM needs to shut his mouth and stop lying. And he also said he's not the one on sabbatical, which was a shot to the GM not being around for much of the season.
Yeah. Interesting.
Woo.
Yeah, there's some beef going on there.
GM didn't like that. The president had to step in, say some things.
Yeah.
Needless to say, apparently stripping the captaincy was just not a good thing. A lot of weird things said. Not going to get into it much at all, but I just want to ask the question. Is there really a point to captaincy in sports anymore? Like, Neil, I don't know, in basketball, like, is there really any point to having a captain in any league anymore?
We're just talking formality-wise.
Yeah.
Formality-wise.
Like, is there a point in having a guy on the team with a C on his jersey or an armband or whatever?
Well, hockey's the only one you see it.
Well, soccer has armbands, but that's it.
Oh, I don't watch that sport. Sorry.
Well, I guess football, too, has their C's on them, but, like...
Do they?
Yeah, like, that's the guy... The only reason they do is guys go out to coin toss, really. They have one from offense, one from defense, one from special teams, and one other guy.
Do they really have C's on their jerseys?
Yeah, they have, like, a little C up in the top.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that either.
There's the 4 of them, and they've all got it. And there's, like... a C, and there's like 4 stars underneath, and one of the 4 stars is filled in.
What would journalists talk about, though, if there wasn't that being...
Oh, exactly. Like, look in Toronto right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Diophanoff, bad captain. Like, I think you make the best point when you say leadership works itself out.
It does. I honestly, seriously, very, like, that's... It doesn't matter if... Like, let's just say I'm the worst leader ever, okay? And here, actually, I have a great example from my own life. Grade 8 basketball, junior high.
All right.
We were...
You just got so into this discussion.
That was the beginning and end of my basketball career. We had a not very good team, but basically we were getting to the point where the coach wanted to the team to choose who the captain was, and I guess we couldn't come up with like a consensus pick or whatever. So basically, what happened was she said, "Okay, I'm gonna pick from what you guys said. So pick whoever had the most votes, even though there was like a lot of split decisions. I'm gonna pick from whoever had the most votes, and then I'll pick my own person. So we'll have like kind of 2 captains, right?" And I swear, the only I was one of them, not from the popular vote, and I swear the only reason was because I handed in my permission slip first. Because that's the only reason I can think of why I would be named captain. Because, like, seriously,
you're the responsible one.
Because seriously though, I had like. Yeah, there's some of my friends are on the team, so I had a rapport with some of the guys, but I barely played. I sat on the bench all the time because that's terrible. I'm not a good basketball player. I'm well aware of that.
You mean your stubby fingers and 5'6" stature?
Yeah.
Sorry, like 5 what?
What?
How tall are you?
Well, in grade 8, I was like 5'5".
Anyways, your average stature and stubby fingers didn't make you an amazing basketball player.
Yeah, like exactly. Like I was so bad. So I literally hardly ever played. So to this day, I'm convinced that the only reason that I was picked as captain was because I was the first one to hand in my permission slip, and like a bunch of the guys on the team were late and like didn't pay and whatever. So I mean, I got on my shit right away. I was like, hey, I got this permission slip. Get my mom to sign that. Get my $60, and I'm good to go. Right? Next practice,
captain.
I'm the captain. Right?
Get your money in, boys.
Obviously, I'm not the leader of that team. Yet, I was out there for every coin toss, every whatever official thing, right? I was like the guy who did all the stuff. Like, it's stupid. Obviously, I wasn't the leader, but that they made me.
You were the leader of paying.
Exactly. And so, okay,
you're
obviously,
the responsible
that's
leader.
Stretching it a little bit, but that's just my example of the leaders will work themselves out. Doesn't matter who has a C or an A on their jersey.
But Joe, you mean Joe Thornton didn't instantly lose all respectability in that locker room?
Perfect example of it is when somebody has the C stripped away from them. Do you think the players just ignore him now?
Patrick Marleau's just like, fuck you, man. You don't have a C.
Yeah, you're a loser.
Thoughts don't matter.
Huh. You don't even know what you're talking about. Do you think you're Joe Thornton or something?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Do you think the locker room is going to treat PK Subban or Max Pacioretty different in Montreal next year because one of them's going to get a C?
Yeah, exactly. No, not at all. It's so stupid. It's such a dumb concept. And I swear it only exists so that there's something to write about.
In soccer, they literally, we were talking about this yesterday with somebody. In soccer, they literally take the captain band off and give it to somebody else when they go off the field.
Because literally, what it's for is for who can deal with the ref. I mean, there are some real issues with that in soccer. Like, everybody gets in the ref's face, and they never hardly ever.
It happens in hockey too.
They hardly
it
ever
doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, they hardly ever do anything about it. So I think that it's stupid that they even bother trying to enforce that rule. But like, yeah, there has to be a captain on the field at all times. So if the guy who starts as the captain gets subbed out, then he's like, oh, take this off and give it to you, right? Like, can you imagine if that happened in hockey? Like, you just take the C off and be like, I'm injured, here you go.
Unstitch the entire thing.
Here, I'm just going to take this Velcro C off.
The only reason it's still around is because for some reason it's got some historic relevance in some way, which I don't really get. Like, I don't care who the captains were of this team. I know who the good players were on the team.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing, is all we know is who the good players are. Right. And I mean, a lot of the time that has a correlation with who the captain or alternate captain is. But you can have a player who's not that great and is
Dustin Brown.
A great
he's not
leader.
that good of a hockey. Like, he's a good hockey player, but he's like a third line player on LA, but he's their captain.
Yeah, exactly. And I really, really, really doubt that everybody on that team thinks that he's like their best player, because he's not. But he's
Willie
the leader.
Mitchell in Florida.
Yeah, exactly. This is the leader of your team, so it doesn't matter. And especially if it's being handed to you by a GM, like, the GMs are slightly separated from that situation of knowing exactly who the leader is. Yeah. So if they're making that direct call, I mean, I don't know. It shouldn't matter as much as it does.
Brian Giunta is this Buffalo Sabres captain.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't.
Leaders work themselves out. I don't care who has a C or an A on their chest.
Yeah.
If you're
Dustin
the leader,
Byfuglien wasn't the captain. Isn't the captain of the Winnipeg Jets? He's the one who did this shit with Evander Kane, apparently.
Yeah, you're the leader of your team if that's the way it works. It doesn't matter if everybody else thinks you are or not.
Yeah. All it does is lay extra blame on players.
Exactly.
I think that's how it should be done. Who can deal with getting dumped on when things are going bad?
Yep.
There you go. Have the C.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Pretty much.
You can deal with shit.
Exactly. Separate it from who the actual leader of the team is.
Yeah. Phil Kessel taking the heat for all that bullcrap. He's a captain.
Yeah, Kessel's a true captain.
Takes
all
Toronto would explode.
Yeah, that'd be the best.
If they stripped Dion of the C and gave it to Phil Kessel, that city would blow up.
I think
it would actually just explode.
I think that'd be the best thing ever, to be honest with you.
I would laugh. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that would make me so happy. It would almost be worthy of giving them a great team of the week.
Almost. Yeah, probably. I think it would be.
Yeah. But you know what? They're probably not for this week. But I'm really excited to find out who is.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Joe's Great Team of the Week.
It's a great segue there, Travis.
I thought he was going to go back to San Jose at some point, but nope.
Great Team of the Week for this week. Going back to my roots, my hometown, Ottawa Senators. Not greatest news for Jets fans, because the Ottawa Senators kind of stole some valuable points from the Jets, but they've been doing that to a lot of teams lately. 8-1-1 in their last 10. All on the back, basically all on the back of rookie goaltending sensation Andrew Hammond,
who at no level previously showed any sign of being any good.
Yeah,
so he's just going on like the hottest stretch of his career.
This is
his life.
Why goalies are anti-science.
They're voodoo.
Yes. So if you think you understand goaltending and how it works, you're
a
wrong.
Face liar.
You're wrong. Because,
you're either ignorant or a liar.
Because nobody understands it. I refuse. Yes, I refuse to believe it. Anyways. On the TSN Analytics podcast, they actually mentioned that, along with Andrew Hammond playing very well, their underlying possession numbers and everything have really taken a jump as well. So they've pulled themselves slightly back into the playoff race. They were pretty well out of it. Now they're within like 5 points. It's a lot to make up.
Losing to Boston.
Yeah, that's a lot to make up in only 15 games remaining. So they really got to hope that guys slide Washington and whatever slide.
That's where Colorado is right now in the West, and no one's talking about that.
Well, exactly, but they've just got to really hope that people slide as much as they've been playing, amazing. But I just had to give a shout out to my birth city. It's where actually most of my family lives. So Ottawa Senators doing big things. Not really though, because they probably still won't make the playoffs.
Be interesting if they did though.
Yes, very interesting.
Storylines would be abundant.
Yes, the pesky Sens strike again.
Oh God. All right, sorry, I hate the Sens.
Yeah, no, I don't care.
I just hate them.
That's fine. You can go ahead.
It's a Leaf thing. We learned some things this week, I hope. Joe, what'd you learn?
I think Neil's got what I learned there. I'll get it up on the screen right away. This was one of the things on Hockey Reddit.
What?
The best thing about this is the caption. That all it says doesn't give you any information about anything. All it says is the $500 nap.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what it is. This dude.
It's Detroit.
This looks. Is that Detroit or is that Chicago? Who is that guy? I don't even know who that guy is.
Who is that guy? Check us out on YouTube.
Yeah,
and
if you can tell us who that
Yes.
player is, because
Anyways,
he's just
someone
a
is
generic
sleeping.
looking white guy.
in the front row.
Front row, this guy's got prime seats. He looks like he's just behind the bench or something.
like leaning against the glass.
And he is full on sleeping. Like, it's not just, he maybe dozed off for a little bit, like head down. He's like literally got his arms down, head in his arms,
I didn't even hear about this.
having a full sleep.
This is an outrage.
The $500 nap. So I learned that,
It's an expensive
not
nap.
all naps are free.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start tweeting these out from our account.
Yeah.
All the things that we talk about that we can't see if you guys are running, working out, or whatever, listening to us. I'm gonna
Yes.
start tweeting them out from the account. There was another picture. I'm gonna find this once once I put this away, of a guy that fell asleep this week at another NHL game, and the fans around him started stacking beer cans on his
Nice.
head,
That's awesome.
and they got up to 4.
That's
That's awesome.
And he was still sleeping.
That's perfect.
Oh my goodness!
So if you take anything from this week's episode, it's don't smoke and not all naps are free.
Yep.
Those are 2 lessons to be learned.
Beware of where you're napping.
Yes,
folks.
exactly.
All right, Neil, what'd you learn this week?
I believe I have it right here, and I'm gonna show you guys. So Carey Price during, I believe, which was a timeout.
Oh, I saw this.
Yeah, really awesome. Again, I'm gonna try and get this on the screen. There was a little fan, must have been 12 years old, and he's trying to take a selfie of him right near the glass. And then Carey Price does him a huge favor and leans in so he can get him in the frame.
Kid's so jacked.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely hyped.
That's nice. I love Carey Price.
Really exciting. And then, of course, Reddit.
Okay, good. You found it.
Reddit finds the picture of the little kid that he took. Did a pretty
awesome.
good job. I mean, he just got his eyes in, but Carey
Whatever.
Price is in there, right?
Yeah, good
That's so
enough.
sweet.
That's sick.
And he got a lot of attention for that, too.
Yep.
For sure, yeah.
That's awesome.
So good on Carey Price for showing the kid a little love, just taking a few seconds out of his game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry, but Carey Price has to...
Just give him the heart.
He's got to be a hard can. Like,
No,
he's got it.
give him the Hart Trophy now.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Is there another candidate? Can you make a better argument for another player?
It's true.
Like,
He's
really.
the reason they're in the
Like,
playoffs.
It's so funny.
He's going to win the Vezina. Like, he has to.
I've seen so many tweets just being like, the Habs are shit.
They are. They are not good.
Yeah, like seriously, so many times people just be like, the Habs are so bad, just give Carey Price the Hart. Just do it. Because like
They would be no... Okay.
Yeah.
The Habs are bad. With PK Subban on the ice, they're okay because he does amazing things. So he should probably get the Vezina for that. But when PK Subban's off the ice, the Habs are so bad.
Yeah.
Like, so bad.
Yeah.
Michel Therrien, I seriously believe Michel Therrien is the worst coach to have a team this good ever.
Probably.
Ever. I cannot think of another team. Like, if you can think of another team, please tweet at us at JetStream Podcast or email us, explain why. And give me some reason as to why Michel Therrien is not the worst coach
With the best team.
with the best team ever. Like, it's got maybe Colorado last year, maybe,
Possibly.
but at least then Patrick Roy was making some interesting decisions. His team was bad. Michel Therrien does everything possible to make Montreal worse. Everything possible,
Oh, that's great.
everything, and they're still winning.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Carey Price. Carey Price is unreal, man.
They should not be where they are at all. It's so infuriating.
Give him the Hart and the Vezina. Is that allowed? Nice. That's awesome.
So yeah, this is a picture of a fan that took the San Jose Sharks game way up in the upper bowl, but
Man.
some guy
Oh
fell
my
asleep.
God.
They got 4 cans of beer on this
That's
guy's head.
unbelievable.
That is
This
impressive.
guy's—they're all losing
Yeah,
it. That's
everybody,
amazing.
Everybody around him is just loving it. That's perfect.
That is awesome.
Unreal.
Oh, that's so good. I want to go to a game in San Jose so badly.
The Shark Tank, they call it, I hear?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, it looks like such a great atmosphere.
Yeah.
Not great enough, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. Jeez. Okay. What I learned this week, we already know, is that the human factor game
Yes.
is going strong.
I'm so curious. What is this?
Matt Stajan. For those of you who don't know, Matt Stajan actually in March of 2014 lost their first child. Him and his wife obviously lost their first child. I can't remember if it was stillborn or what the situation was. Anyways,
Okay.
lost child. And that was obviously devastating, and that's never easy to go through. But earlier this month, they did have a kid, which is great. Good for the family. Since then, in 3 games, Matt Stajan has 3 goals and 4 points.
Nice.
Since their son Elliot was born, him and his wife Katie. Got that from Elliot Friedman's 30 thoughts
Okay, good.
this past
Elliot
week.
Friedman is on the human factor train. I love it.
He's on the human factor train. So Matt Stajan, proving the human factor is a real thing.
It's undeniable.
We need to.
Yeah, we're gonna bring this back.
Actually.
We're
We
bringing
need to start
this-
paying attention to this.
Definitely. Well,
'cause-
the thing is, I've been paying attention. I just keep forgetting to bring it up.
That's why the notes app on my
Yeah.
phone, anytime anything podcast related goes in a note.
Yeah.
And then I just reference that. It's amazing because I'll be in the middle of something and be like, oh, notes, podcast things.
Yeah.
Tweet links in there all the time. It's great.
We'll get more human factor stuff because there's constant examples every week.
It's fantastic. But anyways, it's great for Matt Stajan. Just hope your team would lose a little bit more, please. Stupid Flames. But yeah, that's what we learned this week. Now we gotta try to not look stupid and spell things. So
I'm so
wrong
sorry.
music.
the podcast is not over, Neil.
Oh my
Last week, you're giving us this song at the end.
Except after
And you always you can't say that. You always get them right.
That's true.
Lately.
I've been on fire.
All right.
See if you get me this week, Joe.
Yeah.
Actually, sorry, I gave a shout out to Beyond the Handle. So I have a quick spelling bee for you two.
Okay.
Spell my last name.
Rubenik.
Yeah.
HRUBENIEUK.
Damn it.
Yeah, I've spelt it enough times with podcast stuff that I know it now.
Alan wanted me to ask you guys, see if you knew how to spell my last name.
You spell it out after every single podcast when
That's
you're saying
true.
your
That's
handle.
true.
So
That's
sorry.
It's just brainwashed in our heads.
You don't even listen to that. You're on your phone all the time, Joe.
It's just subliminal. Anyways,
I would hope you
we're
guys
like
know
halfway
spelling
through
bee.
spelling bee music right now.
Whatever. What is
Spelling bee. A player that we Jets fans have seen recently, very recently in fact, on Saturday night. The goaltender for the Tampa Bay Lightning, that was playing that night anyways, Andrei Vasilevsky.
Bad choice, Joe.
Why?
Because when I was on the Phil Nason show,
Oh no.
we were talking about the Tampa Bay Lightning,
Well,
and I did a lot of research.
that's unfortunate. Okay, Neil, this is
Andre Vasilevsky?
Vasilevsky.
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 There's no P in there.
No.
Give me lifeline.
Yes, there's no P.
Vasilevsky. I put a P in!
Just can't help it.
Vasilevsky.
Neil, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a pointer, so you might be able to get this. Okay?
Sure.
The sh sound isn't made how sh sounds should be made. It just appears.
Well, I gotta start over now.
Just cut the whole program.
Lesh? This is the hardest one yet. Ski. I don't. What fuck it. Andre, Andrey. Whatever this is. Vashelezhski.
Wow.
I don't
Alright
know what
then.
else a shiz. I just
That's a lot of
tossed a Z in there.
letters.
Andrei Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky. Jesus. Andrei. I never comes before.
No, why would it ever do that?
Never does.
Vasil.
Little girls are bullshit.
EVSKIY.
Nailed it.
What?
Yeah. Stupid
Yeah,
Travis and
it's-
his research.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah, no, what got me was the KIY. Like, that's crazy.
that's
but
why-
yes, the correct spelling, as Travis just said, Andrei, Andre Vasilevsky, Vasilevskiy.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
you don't know.
It's shenanigans.
Except for Travis.
That was the toughest time I've ever had.
Yeah? No, that was a good one. Honestly, that was...
If honestly, there's no chance I would have got that if it wasn't for Phil Nason's show.
Well,
Because
thanks, Phil.
yeah, he's the future of Tampa Bay Lightning.
If anyone has any suggestions how we can make this harder and give Travis a handicap, please let me know. I need...
Just shouting letters out as I'm trying to figure
Yeah, as
it
you're
out.
trying to type. Z, Q, S, P.
Maybe I should go for a week and not research hockey.
Well, that's the thing, is you do all the writing, so you find all these names.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
fair.
Well, the thing is, I don't even write anymore. I just prep this, and yeah, a lot of times you gotta go like way off the board. You gotta go like KHL names, and I'll have no chance.
I'm gonna think of a game for you two.
Do it.
That Neil can make us look dumb.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Alright.
Yeah.
If you have an idea for that, tweet us at JetStreamPod, #JetStream.
Yeah.
Because we are about done here, and I want to listen to some Seinfeld music. So So I'm going to tell you all the ways you can get a hold of us.
Hold on, I grab my phone.
Yeah, grab your phone, Joe. Stop listening to me entirely. The podcast is over for you.
I'm going to do the same.
Yeah, Neil's going to do the same thing, and I'm just going to go ham and tell you guys how to get a hold of us. Like I said, at JetStreamPod, #JetStream. If you want to check out the website, www.jetstreampodcast.com. Email jetstreampodcast@gmail.com. Please get in touch with us. We love it when you guys do, especially if you're from far, far away, because that is just cool. If you're from Winnipeg, sorry, you're just not as cool to us. You're our prime target audience, but you're not as cool. Wow. Want to yell at me on Twitter for saying that? At THRUBENIUK. If you want to yell at Joe for never using his Twitter account and really just letting that go to waste.
Every time.
At JW_Clark20. Neil's on Twitter at Neil Noonan, NEILNOONAN. If you listen on Max Sports channels or SoundCloud or watching on YouTube, subscribe and rate us on iTunes, please. It's how we get noticed. It's how people from all over the world start listening to us.
I'm done with my phone.
Pretty awesome.
I'm listening now.
It's going to take forever. Is probably it. So yeah, subscribe and rate us on iTunes. You should also check out artsicehockey.com, so you'll find all the links if you're having trouble finding us for some reason. It's really not that hard. Just search JetStream Podcast and we usually appear.
Yeah, like a 50-50 chance.
We should be there.
Yeah,
I mean, Neil's done all the hard work to make us noticeable.
Yes,
so.
we should be there.
Yeah, so feel free to talk to us. It's always appreciated. We love hearing from you guys. Jets play some more games this week. Big matchup against San Jose. The Jets really have to start appreciating the Blues because the Blues play so many teams the Jets have to pass that they can pretty much make or break the Jets playoff run here.
Let's go Blues. Let's go
become Blues fans, everybody.
Yeah.
And if the Jets don't make it, I'm going to cheer for the Blues regardless. So
you've been on that Blues bandwagon for a while.
They need to win.
Yeah.
This is their year, man. So many teams they're facing. Like LA might not make it. Everyone else is hurt. But yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody. Hear from us next week. Toodles.